is not just the culmination of days and weeks and months of work of immigrant rights leaders, of faith leaders, of immigrant justice organizations, but truly years and decades to bear witness to the abuse of power of these enforcement agencies. And as many of you know, today is not the end of the journey, it is actually the beginning of the work. And we with the Immigrant Solidarity Network thought it appropriate to make very clear what our demands are. We have very specific demands for the representatives in Congress that could actually do something about these agencies that harm our neighbors and harm our communities. And it's worth noting before I get into the demands that the very first step is having them at the table, making sure that our representatives listen to us, that they see us, and that they hear us. So as you listen to these demands, you are all encouraged to continue to hold your representatives accountable, to call them, to contact them, and let them know that immigrant justice is justice for all. Amen. So we have 4 demands. The first is to defund ICE and the CBP and instead invest in our communities. Specifically, we want to ask our members of Congress to significantly decrease the funding to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Customs and Border Patrol in the fiscal year 21 Department of Homeland Security Appropriations Bill. And we need to ensure that the Department of Homeland Security doesn't then just reprogram or transfer those funds back to an abusive enforcement agency. These agencies do not deserve a dime of any coronavirus relief funding. That belongs to communities. We want to use this money to invest in housing, in education, in climate justice, in healthcare for all, in mental health care for all. That belongs to the people. And so our second demand is that immigrant families deserve to be part of coronavirus relief packages. Because if our government really wants our communities healthy, if they want them safe and they want them well, then these resources need to reach all of our neighbors. Our third demand, it is not enough for our members of Congress just to hear us. They themselves need to be champions of humane immigration policy. This means that they need to provide a pathway to citizenship for all undocumented immigrants. They need to provide protections and due process for anyone that seeks asylum in this country. And they need to put an end to detention and deportation and any policy that would separate families. And our fourth and final demand, which is in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement, is that we demand our members of Congress join us in working to dismantle white supremacy, white nationalism, and the anti-Blackness that permeates our society. We demand that they put an end to the militarization response for people that are in pain, for people that are protesting, for people that are seeking change. And we reject the national security framework. And instead, we demand true public safety. Safety for the public, making our public and our communities well and healthy and resilient and strong so that all communities, especially Black communities, can live without the fear of being killed by the police. Yes. These are our demands, and our work is just beginning. So please use your voice. Bear witness to what is happening. This is 5 miles from my home. The immigrant crisis and the abuse of these agencies is here at our footsteps. It's here in our communities. You can use your voice, you can show up, and you can make our demands clear. Our fight is not over until our members of Congress are here with us, fighting for justice. And as many of you know, we work in organizing here, and you're involved, so I want you to take out your cell phone. You're involved. You got to take action. As Sarah Jane mentioned, if you text 52886, text the word champion, to 52886. You can sign up to tell your members of Congress how you feel about immigrant justice. Action starts today.